Hello, welcome to our final lesson with How to Be Happy 2024. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to maintain, remind, check in, and also how to gamify your goals. All right, so you want to be able to get happy, but you also want to be able to stay happy, to keep it, right? That's the real goal. We talked about this a little bit yesterday with being able to actually experience the joy of what you are doing, to actually feel it, the mindfulness of it, right? But I also want you to think about how much you really need in order to do something, right? So I've used this example before, but if you are training for something physical and you think that let's say you're doing competition or something, and you have the idea that the competition is going to require you to need to lift 2 pounds. Okay. So every day you're like, I got this. I'm going to lift 2 pounds. And you're lifting with both arms, and you're lifting 2 pounds, and you're like, I got this. I'm doing this. Right. And then you go to the competition that day and you're sick. And you don't have all your strength, and you're like, I can't do this. I really can't. And then or you go and you hurt your back or something. You don't have all the capacity, or something else happens. I don't know. There's so many different variables in life, right? So that's one thing. But if you had trained to lift 30 pounds and then you go and something happens, like the same kind of variables, and you can only lift with one hand, you still got it because you were training to lift 30 pounds, but you're only lifting with one hand. So it's still like you're only lifting 15 pounds, right? So if you overestimate how much you need to do, you will be able to handle anything, right? So if we overestimate what it will take for us to be happy, and we kind of don't overexert ourselves, but we really plan and we really take into consideration the supplies, the equipment, the money, the things that we'll need mentally, right? And we don't just do the bare minimum. We take into the consideration that life is crazy, that variables can happen, and we understand those things, then it won't be so weird when something happens and we're able to handle it, So I want you to step into your staying power. I want you to be able to not need to have to adjust your expectations of your goals because you didn't plan for them, right? I really want you to only have to adjust the amount of action that you're taking in order to make something happen. So you can always adjust the amount of effort that you're taking in order to achieve something, or how you're going about something. So you have access to your energy, you have access to your effort, you have access to your planning, you have access to resources and things. So instead of adjusting your expectations of how happy you can be, of how fun this can be, of how well this can go, you can say, this is going to go just as well as I hope. So all I need to do is change up my resources, change up my effort, change up my energy, change up the way that I'm doing something, right? So another example that I give is if you say, I want to go on vacation, and then you say, well, I don't have any money, so I can't. It's let's not say that. Let's say I want to go on vacation and I only have $100, right? So let's have these two statements that exist at the same time, and decide how we can make something happen with those things, right? So the same way that we were doing yesterday, it was yesterday's coaching lesson of how you want this thing to happen as often as possible, right? So how are you going to make it happen, whether it's with the amount of quantity or the amount of quality that you want? So what are you going to do to make this happen for yourself? It's not that you can't do this, it's that you're going to do it in a different way. Maybe you have the opportunity to make this happen. How are you going to make it happen? You might not be able to go on the vacation that you were thinking of, but you can do something. It's just going to be a little bit more creative, a little bit more merriment. All right. So I don't want you to have these expectations in your head that change everything, that really dishearten everything. Right. I know this is maybe a weird example, but literally this week, while this challenge has been going on, I have had the weirdest situation happened in my house. I've had no heat, I've had water shut off, I've had cold water, I've had my basement flood. Earlier like in the past 9 days, my whole front lawn was scooped up, excavated. They had to replace the piping, our water main burst. Just a bunch of weird stuff happened in the house, and it's just been awful, truly awful. And then I saw this person that I love online who their basement also flooded. And instead of being really upset and angry about it, they made a video of them dancing around while they were wet vacuuming or shop vacuuming or whatever it's called, the basement. And I was like, that's the thing, is we are in the same situation. So how are you going to make this thing that is neither horrible nor wonderful, right? It simply is. How are you going to make it fun? How are you going to gamify your life? How are you going to make it amazing? So we're going to get into that in a second, but first I want to talk to you about reminding and checking in and maintaining those logistic things. Let's get those out of the way, okay? But they're very important. They're very important. All right, so reminding yourself. Honestly, this is very simple. A lot of people write their goals. We're at the beginning of the year, right? 2024. They write their goals at the beginning of their notebook. They write 2024 New Year's resolutions, right? And then that front page of the notebook gets turned to the next page, and we don't see them again. And we forget about them. And then we get to the end of the year and it's December and we're like, wait, what even were my goals? The amount of times that I got into December and I forgot that I made a goal to do something is too many to count, truly. Too many to count. So your goals need to be at the top of the page every day. If you want to print out stickers and put them at the top of every page, that works. But your goals need to be at top of page every day. Your goals need to be said out loud every day. It can't just be a stagnant affirmation on your wall because you might stop seeing it. Things on walls become stagnant. There is something about visual stuff that, yes, if it's on the wall and it's pretty and it's rainbow and it's vibrant and it's your aesthetic, like that's great, but it becomes art in a museum after a while. Like it only resonates with you as something that's something I need to do for a little bit. So you need to do something every single day that's active, whether it's your voice or your writing. Okay, so a lot of people that I have been reading about, and like when I was doing all of my business research and everything, so many people had very similar practices with their goals and why they're successful. And it's that every morning they write their goals down, the same ones they're working on, the same ones, and they'll put them on the next page of their journal, right? Or they'll just say them out loud. And also what really helps is also to say them as if they've already happened. But that's like another thing. If you're not into that, that's okay. But like just remind yourself of what it is that you want to do. Because if you're saying the same thing over and over and over again and it's not happening, it kind of like makes you sick of yourself. Okay, but it also is just a good reminder. Now, in terms of check-in, I think that checking in every week is really good. I think just pick a day. I think Saturday or Sunday is a good day to kind of plan for the week, or even a Monday. Pick one of those. And plan out your week and just think about logistically, when are you going to fit in your happy goal? Are you doing it every day? Are you going to do it on Wednesdays? And just make sure that there's no, prior commitments, things that are getting in the way. And then I want you to do a monthly recap. Okay. So on maybe the last day of the month, you can pick the first day. It doesn't really matter. Just pick one day a month and go over how that month went. Okay. And you can use the reflection questions from week or day 3's worksheet and just kind of use those, but overall for the month. Like, how did these things go? How did I feel? All those things. Okay. And then I think there should also be like a biannual reflection. So sometime in June, sometime in July, that midpoint of the year, go ahead and ask yourself, like, how's this going? Am I still interested in this? Do I want to change this up? Is this something that I still want to do? Am I enjoying it? Is there a way that I can make this more fun? Maybe take this challenge again. Okay, so now let's talk about gamifying your goals. So this is like ways that you can Pippi Longstocking your experience. All right, so Pippi Longstocking is an amazing character that I love from books and movies, and I always think of her when I think of gamifying because she did this thing in one of the 80s movies where she put on soap shoes and used those to clean the floor. And when I saw that, my mind blew up and I was like, oh my God, that's the thing. It's to make everyday tasks feel like fun. The same way of shop vacuuming your basement that's flooded. Like, can you dance while doing something? So in general, that's the vibe of gamify, all right? It's just to make something that maybe isn't already that fun, or maybe is the exact opposite of it, feel more enjoyable. Now, there's some kind of standard ways, not standard, but like, let's say, let's just say standard ways to gamify your goals, all right? So here are some examples of ideas to get you started. Try to beat your highest score. So a lot of these are involving points, okay? So you don't have to do points. You can do like stars or pairs or dance beats or cups of coffee or beans or magic beans or neurons or serotonin bites. I don't know, make something up. But the idea is that like things that can be quantified, it's like a game, right? Like you're in basketball or whatever, like you're able to like keep score. So it's like a game, okay? You can also look at it like a video game, like you're getting to the next level, or there's like you're in, I don't know anything about video games, but you're jumping on a thing and like the coins burst or whatever. Like you can make anything, okay? So that's kind of what you're doing. So try to beat your highest score. So, you know, did I dance the best dance? Did I dance the silliest dance? What kind of rankings can you do? Can you give yourself superlatives? Anything like that. Rack up points for completing tasks. So you could do something consistency based. You can like count up how many points on a reward chart that you make and then turn in those points for something else, like a reward. Anything that you want. You can earn TV time. You can earn something that you want to buy. I don't know. Okay. You can also track the time that you spend on an app like Habitica. That's like habit with ICA at the end of it. And this is all like depending on your personality type and what kind of play personality you have and all different things that kind of like get you off, right? So if you like seeing the time that you've spent on something, then an app like that is going to be fun. And there's also like a lot of really cool things on Habitica. Also, if you like using a reward chart, you might also like Forest app because the trees grow as you pay attention to the things and you track your time. So that one's pretty cool too. You can also just act like your life is a video game. You know, you can pretend like you're putting on your avatar outfit for this particular happy goal that you're working on. What's your you know, main character energy for this? You know, I don't know, like what are the magic things in your house that turn into stuff? Are you gonna start leaving coins everywhere? I don't know, like how are you? I don't know anything about video games. Just don't hurt people. You can set time limits. I think that's really fun. Like sometimes I will like while the microwave is going, I'll be like, how many things can I do in like 20 seconds? You can make a wheel or dice, like, and roll and put different things on it and be like, okay, what happens when I do this? Like I have to do what it says on the dice, or make a spinning wheel, like a, not Wheel of Fortune. What's the other one? Bob Barker. I don't know. I can't think of it. Set challenges for yourself, like a little relay race, or I don't know, just like make it fun. Like when you're putting away laundry, be like, boop, just anything, really anything. Act like a kid, man, honestly. And you can also batch stuff with other things. So like an easy example is like playing Pokemon Go if you're trying to get exercise or go out of the house, you know? Like, you can do both things. You can get a walk and play Pokemon Go. I have tons of ideas for merriment making, which is what this is, and gamifying your life, like putting just like putting googly eyes on your car and making different playlists for different things that you're doing and giving yourself, you know, specific ideas for hairstyles, like pigtails, you know, doing it actually like Pippi Longstocking style, or just even like gamifying your systems to make it all rainbow colored or all green or whatever floats your boat, or while you're out pretending that you're a spy and collecting stuff while you're out, or I don't know, just yelling weird catchphrases and stuff. I love making ideas for these kinds of things. And every month now in the Merriment Makers, we are doing a gamify game plan. So that's really fun for me. Okay, but these are some ideas for how to gamify your life, and I hope that all of these are really helpful. And then tonight we're going to look at, like what I promised, ways you can increase your experience for your happy goal in a more tangible way. So I will see you tonight. Go ahead and answer your questions on your worksheet, and I'll see you there.